Maya grew up in foster homes across Arizona. She never met her mother. Nurses at the hospital said the mother was too young and not ready, then she signed papers and left. On each birthday in a new house, Maya closed her eyes over a small cake and made the same wish. "Please let my mom come back," she whispered. She pictured a knock on the door and a woman with open arms. One afternoon when Maya was about 12, her foster mom, Mrs. Green, sat her down at the kitchen table. "Sweetheart," Mrs. Green said gently, "I won't lie to you. She left because she wanted a different life." Maya stared at the wood grain. "So, no one is coming? You will make your own way," Mrs. Green said. "And I will help you while you're here. But you must believe in yourself." That night Maya lay awake and talked to the dark. "Fine," she whispered. "If no one is coming, I'll still be okay." At school the next day a classmate muttered, "Foster kid." Maya lifted her chin. She didn't answer. She just breathed, counted to 10 and promised herself she would work harder than anyone. At a group home later that year, Maya met Bella, a quiet girl with a heart condition. Bella wore a thin gold chain with a rose-shaped pendant. Everyone said it was the only thing left from her first days in the hospital. Bella hated it. "It feels like proof I wasn't wanted," she told Maya one evening as they folded laundry. Maya shook her head. "It's beautiful. It means you were seen." Bella snorted. "If I was seen, why did they leave?" Maya didn't argue. She just said, "Keep it safe." On holidays Bella sometimes put the pendant on. Maya's eyes lit up. "See? It suits you." Bella rolled her eyes but smiled. When other kids teased them, orphans, hand-me-downs, Maya and Bella stood together. "We're not broken," Maya would say. "We're learning." At night the girls whispered dreams. "I want a warm kitchen with magnets on the fridge," Maya said. "I want a door with my name on it," Bella replied. "And someone who knocks before coming in." They made a promise under their blankets. "No matter where we go," Maya said, "we'll stay friends." "Deal," Bella said, touching the rose pendant like a tiny oath. Middle school turned into high school. Maya studied hard. She tutored younger kids and stayed late in the library. "You're good with children," her English teacher, Mr. Shaw, told her. "Think about becoming a teacher." Maya felt a small warmth. "I'd like that," she said. Bella's health made gym class difficult. Sometimes she limped after running. In the nurse's office she joked, "Guess I'm a fragile flower." Maya squeezed her hand. "You're strong. You show up." Bella's smile faded. "Strong people don't get thrown away." "You did not get thrown away," Maya said softly. "You survived." In the cafeteria when a boy snickered, "Return to sender," Maya stepped in front of Bella. "Knock it off." After school they walked past porch lights and talked about the future. "I'll teach second grade," Maya said. "I'll have a class plant named Sunny." Bella kicked a pebble. "I just want a landlord who fixes the heater." Maya bumped her shoulder. "And a best friend who shows up with soup." Bella's voice turned sharp for a second. "If my parents ever showed up, I'd slam the door." Maya didn't argue. She let Bella's anger sit like a storm cloud and stayed beside her until the sky felt lighter. They aged out of care. The state gave each of them a folder and a small stipend. Maya won scholarships with help from teachers and enrolled in a local college for education. She worked nights, waiting tables, stocking shelves, tutoring, then studied until her eyes stung. "You okay?" the diner manager asked during a break. "I'm fine," Maya said, rubbing her wrists. "I'm building something." 4 years later she walked across a stage in a borrowed gown. "Maya Lopez," the dean called. She smiled so wide her cheeks hurt. Bella moved into a tiny one-bedroom from a housing program. She wiped the counters twice a day and kept a list on the fridge. Rent, utilities, groceries. Her heart condition flared under stress, but she kept going. "I'll manage," she told the clinic nurse. "I always do." The friends texted more than they met. "Call me when you're home," Maya wrote. "Don't worry," Bella replied. One sunny afternoon on Maya's walk from the library, a guy with messy hair and a nervous grin stepped into her path. "Hi," he said, scratching his neck. "I lost a bet. I have to ask the next person for a number. Could it be yours?" Maya laughed. "That's the worst line I've ever heard." "Fair," he said. "I'm Ethan." She looked at his honest eyes. Maya. He swallowed. Can I try again at coffee? He hesitated then nodded. One coffee. One coffee turned into many. Ethan listened more than he talked. How was class? How are your students? Did you eat? He walked her home after late shifts and learned her favorite snack and the stories she rarely told. I don't need grand promises, Maya said once on a quiet bus ride. Just show up. I can do that, he answered. 2 years later he held a small ring in her tiny apartment between takeout boxes and textbooks. Maya, he said, hands shaking, you feel like home to me. Will you marry me? She covered her mouth then nodded through tears. Yes. Joy came with fear. What if his parents judge me? She whispered to herself before meeting them. What if they hear foster care and shut the door? At a modest house on the edge of the city, Ethan's mom, Ruth, opened the door first. So you're Maya, Ruth said, pulling her into a soft hug. We've been waiting to meet you. Ethan's dad, David, offered a steady smile. Welcome. Over dinner, Ruth served Maya the choicest pieces and David asked about her classroom. 2nd grade, he said. Best age in the world. On the drive home, Maya looked out at the desert sky and whispered, they were kind. Ethan squeezed her hand. They're your family now too. Maya wanted to believe it. For the first time she almost did. Maya and Ethan married in a small church with white paper flowers and borrowed chairs. She wore a simple dress that fit like a promise. He wore a navy suit and could not stop smiling. Ready? He whispered at the altar. Ready, she said, laughing through tears. After the ceremony they ate cupcakes in the church hall. Ruth dabbed Maya's cheeks. You look perfect. David hugged Ethan. Take care of each other. That night they sat on the floor of their tiny apartment and opened cards. We don't have much, Maya said, but I feel rich. Me too, Ethan said, tapping her wedding band. This is the only treasure I need. On Monday, Maya started her new job as a 2nd grade teacher. Good morning, friends, she told the class. We'll read, we'll count, and we'll be kind. A small boy raised his hand. Do we get stickers? Maya grinned. If we earn them. After school she called Bella. Come for dinner Friday? Bella exhaled. I'll try. Overtime again. I'll pack you leftovers, Maya said. Deal, Bella replied, voice thin. Bella's days were heavy. The factory floor buzzed, the air smelled like oil, and her heart pounded whenever the machine clanged. Sit, the floor supervisor told her once. You're pale. I'm fine, she insisted, pressing a palm to her chest. At home she touched the small gold rose at her neck, then rolled her eyes at it. You're bad luck, she muttered. When Maya visited with soup, Bella tried to joke. I'm officially powered by noodles. You're officially loved, Maya said, setting out bowls. Eat. Bella looked around her cramped kitchen. Sometimes I think the walls are getting closer. We'll find you something better, Maya said. One step at a time. I hate steps, Bella said softly. They take forever. Maya squeezed her shoulder. But they move us forward. On a bright Saturday, Maya and Ethan drove Bella to a small park. Sunlight therapy, Ethan said, spreading a blanket. Harper, the toddler from the neighbor's place, waved as they passed. Bella smiled at the child and then looked away quickly as if the sight hurt. You okay? Maya asked. I'm fine, Bella said, tucking the pendant under her shirt. Old habit. Ethan handed out sandwiches. Tell me one good thing from this week. Bella chewed, thinking. A lady on the bus offered me her seat. That's 2 good things, Maya said. The seat and the kindness. Bella smirked. You'd make math sound like poetry. Ethan leaned back. She does. Daily. They watched a kite tip against the blue sky. One day, Maya said, you'll have a place with windows and a plant on the sill. What kind of plant? Bella asked. A stubborn one, Maya said. Like us. Money was tight for everyone, but Ruth and David kept their door open. Sunday dinner, Ruth texted each week. No excuses. They served roast chicken, salad from the garden, and stories from old photo albums. Ethan tried to build a treehouse once, David said, chuckling. It looked like a ladder arguing with a fence. Don't tell that one, Ethan groaned. Maya loved the house, the wind chimes, the clean porch, the framed photos. Your family, Ruth told her, pressing leftovers into her hands. Come by after work anytime. I will, Maya said, surprised by the knot in her throat. Later on the porch, David poured iced tea. Teaching is holy work, he said. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Maya whispered, eyes shining. For a girl raised on plastic trays and shared rooms, the quiet felt like a gift she had waited her whole life to open. Trouble found Bella in the shape of a charming stranger named Mark. He brought cheap flowers and loud promises. You deserve more, he told her. Stick with me. At first he lifted grocery bags and kissed her forehead. Then he criticized her shoes, her friends, her hours. You wouldn't be so tired if you listened to me, he snapped. The first time he grabbed her arm, Bella pulled free and stared. Don't, she said. Ever. He laughed it off. You're dramatic. She didn't call Maya. She told herself it was nothing. Weeks later she felt sick in the mornings. The clinic nurse spoke gently. You're pregnant. Bella sat very still. Okay, she whispered, then again, okay. When she told Mark, he shrugged. Not my problem. The door closed behind him like a full stop. That night Bella texted Maya one word, help. Maya and Ethan arrived with bags, food, vitamins, a soft blanket. You're not alone, Maya said, setting tea on the counter. Bella stared at the wall. He left. Then we plan without him, Ethan said. We find a safer place. We talk to your doctor. Bella's voice cracked. What if my heart fails? Then we face it together, Maya said. One appointment at a time. Ruth heard and joined the circle without fanfare. She showed up with casseroles and lists. Prenatal clinic. Social worker. Budget sheet. David repaired Bella's leaky sink and said, no bill. Family rate. Bella fought tears. I don't know how to accept this. Start small, Ruth replied, opening the fridge and sliding in milk. Take the yogurt. Say thank you. That's enough for today. Thank you, Bella whispered. Good, Ruth said. Now eat. The baby came on a cold night with rain on the windows. Breathe, the nurse said. Almost there. Bella gripped the bed rail and pressed her forehead to her arm. I'm scared. Maya held her hand. I'm here. Ethan stood by the door calling updates to Ruth and David. A thin cry lifted into the room. The nurse placed a tiny girl on Bella's chest. Bella stared stunned. Hi, she whispered, voice breaking. Hi, little bean. The baby blinked slowly as if learning the light. What's her name? Maya asked. Bella swallowed. Lily. Perfect, Maya said. Hi, Lily. When they brought Lily home, Bella sat in the dark and listened to the small breaths. You're my reason, she told the warm bundle. We're going to make it. Weeks blurred. Feedings, laundry, clinic visits. Bella's heart strained under lost sleep. On the stairs she paused, breath shallow. Sit, Maya said, catching Lily and the diaper bag. Rest 2 minutes. I'm falling behind, Bella murmured. You're recovering, Maya corrected. Ruth arrived with a bassinet and soft pajamas. I washed everything twice, she said, setting up near the window. David brought a second-hand stroller and tightened the wheels. Road ready. Bella touched the handle. Why are you all doing this? David looked at Lily's tiny fingers. Because we can. Late one afternoon, Maya packed papers for a quick stop at Ruth's. She slid a small velvet pouch into her tote, a safe place for Bella's pendant while Bella napped. Back in an hour, she told Bella. Text if you need me. Go, Bella said. I'll try to sleep. At Ruth and David's, the tote spilled across the entry rug, graded worksheets, pens, a half-eaten granola bar and the velvet pouch. The string loosened. A delicate gold rose slid into a ray of sun and flashed like a match. Ruth went still. Her hand found the doorframe. Where did you get that? Her voice sounded far away. Maya bent quickly. Oh, this? It's Bella's. She's had it forever. Ruth's face drained of color. The rose, she whispered. David stepped in from the kitchen. Ruth. She looked at him, eyes wet. I've seen that pendant before. David's brow tightened. It's common, maybe. No, Ruth said, touching her throat as if an old ache had returned. Not this one. She forced a smile for Maya. Tea. Sure, Maya said, unsure. That evening, Ruth moved like a person carrying a heavy box no one else could see. David watched her quietly, worry sitting between them like a third chair. The next day Maya stopped by again with school flyers for the church drive. Voices drifted from the kitchen. Low, urgent. She froze in the hallway. "It's been almost 30 years, Ruth whispered. "But I know that, Rose." David's reply was careful. "We can't be certain." Ruth's breath hitched. "2 babies that night. A boy and a girl. The girl was so weak. I gave her a pendant, my mother's rose, before the social worker took her." Silence gathered, then David's voice, rough. "We brought the boy home. We raised him. We did what we thought was mercy." Ruth's words shook. "What if Bella is the girl? What if the boy is Ethan?" Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. She pressed her palms to the wall and stared at the tote on her shoulder, at the empty pouch inside. The hallway seemed to tilt. He heard David again. "We need proof. No guesses." Ruth whispered, "If it's true, we've built our life on a secret." Maya stepped back, slipped out the door and sat in her car with both hands on the wheel. "Breathe," she told herself, but the breath wouldn't come. The gold rose had always been a sad trinket to her. Now it felt like a key turning in a hidden lock. That night Maya couldn't sleep. She lay next to Ethan, listening to his steady breathing. The ceiling above her felt like it was spinning. 2 babies, a rose pendant. Ruth's words looped through her mind. Around midnight she whispered into the dark, "If it's true, what are we?" She wanted to wake Ethan, to ask him if he had ever wondered about his birth. But fear stopped her. What if telling him destroyed everything? Instead she sat up quietly, pressed her palms to her face and whispered, "God, please let this be wrong." Her phone buzzed. Bella's message. "Lily's fever won't go down." Maya threw on her robe and drove across town. Bella was in tears when she arrived. "I've been up all night." Maya pressed a cool cloth to the baby's forehead. "We'll get her to urgent care." As they sat in the waiting room, Maya studied the rose pendant glinting on Bella's neck. The small gold flower shimmered under the fluorescent lights like a quiet reminder that the truth never stayed hidden for long. 2 days later Maya returned to Ruth's house. "We need to talk," she said as soon as Ruth opened the door. Ruth nodded slowly, leading her to the living room. "You heard us that day, didn't you?" Maya's hands trembled. "I need the truth. All of it." Ruth's eyes filled. "I was a nurse at St. Anne's Hospital. A young mother came in alone, frightened, no family. He had twins. A boy and a girl." Maya swallowed hard. "Twins. The girl was so weak," Ruth said, voice cracking. "The doctors didn't think she'd live. The mother signed papers and walked out. She wanted no contact. David and I couldn't have children. I held the babies, and I made a terrible choice." Maya's breath caught. "You took one." Ruth nodded, trembling. "The boy. We named him Ethan. The girl, I gave her a pendant. My mother's rose. I thought she'd die with it, but she lived." David entered quietly, his voice heavy. "We told ourselves it was mercy. But it was a sin born of love and fear." Maya sat frozen, her world spinning. "So Ethan's adopted," she whispered. "And the girl?" "We don't know," Ruth said. "But if that pendant you brought belongs to Bella, then—" She trailed off, unable to say it. "Then Bella is Ethan's sister," Maya finished for her. The words hit the air like thunder. Ruth covered her face with both hands. "Dear Lord," she sobbed. David's jaw clenched. "We must tell him. He deserves the truth." Maya nodded faintly. "He deserves it, but so does Bella." She stood slowly. "I'll bring her here. Tonight." Ruth caught her arm. "Maya, she'll hate me." "Maybe," Maya said softly. "But secrets hurt worse than anger." On her way home, Maya gripped the steering wheel, the desert wind buffeting her car. She thought about Bella, about all the nights she had whispered, "I was thrown away." Now she knew Bella hadn't just been thrown away. She had been left behind by the same people who raised the man Maya loved. That evening Ethan came home from a trip. He dropped his bag by the door and smiled. "Hey, beautiful." Maya's throat tightened. "We need to talk." She guided him to the table, her heart hammering. Ruth and David sat waiting, both pale and quiet. "What's going on?" Ethan asked, glancing between them. David began slowly. "Son, there's something we never told you." Ethan's smile faded. "Okay." Ruth took his hand. "You were adopted. You were one of 2 babies born the night I was on shift. We took you home because we couldn't have children. We loved you every day since. Ethan blinked, stunned. Adopted? Maya whispered. There was a girl too. A twin. Ethan stared at her. A twin. Ruth nodded. We believe she's still alive. We think she might be your friend Bella. Ethan shot to his feet. Bella? Maya's Bella? His voice cracked. The one you grew up with? Yes, Maya said softly. She still has the necklace you gave the baby. The gold rose. Ethan's face went white. You're saying Bella is my sister? Ruth began to cry. We don't know for sure, but all signs point to it. Ethan rubbed his temples. I've lived 32 years thinking I knew who I was. David's voice was low. You're still you, son. No, Ethan said, shaking his head. If she's my sister, she's out there struggling while I've been comfortable. His voice broke. We have to find her. Maya touched his arm. She's already in our lives. Ethan looked up sharply. What do you mean? She's been my best friend since we were kids. She lives 10 miles away. For a moment no one spoke. Ruth whispered, then we go tonight. Maya nodded. We'll tell her everything. David fetched the car keys. Ruth clutched her Bible. Ethan said quietly, if she hates us, we'll take it. If she forgives us, Maya said, we'll earn it. The car ride was silent except for the sound of tires humming over desert roads. The stars hung low and bright. Ruth twisted a tissue in her hands. What if she doesn't open the door? Ethan stared out the window. Then I'll wait until she does. Maya's voice was soft. She deserves to hear it from you. They reached Bella's small apartment near dawn. The paint was chipped. A broken tricycle leaned against the wall. Maya knocked lightly. Inside, a baby whimpered. Bella opened the door, eyes tired, hair messy. Maya? It's 6 a.m. She froze when she saw the others. Who are they? Ethan's parents, Maya said gently. Bella's hand tightened on the doorframe. What's going on? Maya swallowed. We need to tell you something important. Please, can we come in? Bella hesitated, then stepped aside. But make it quick. Lily's asleep. They sat around the small kitchen table. Ruth's eyes brimmed with tears. Bella, my name is Ruth Miller. I worked as a nurse 30 years ago. I was there the night you were born. Bella frowned. What are you talking about? Ruth trembled. Your mother gave birth to twins. A boy and a girl. The girl had a heart condition. That girl was you. The boy, she gestured to Ethan. Bella's face went blank. No, that's not possible. Maya whispered, it's true. The pendant you wear, it was Ruth's. She put it around your neck before the social worker took you. Bella's fingers rose to the pendant. You're saying this came from you? Ruth nodded, tears falling. I thought you wouldn't live. I told myself leaving you was mercy. But it was cowardice. Bella stood up suddenly. You left me in that system. You let me rot there. Ethan rose too. She's my mom. She made a mistake, but I want to make it right. You're my sister, Bella. Bella's voice broke. You think one visit can erase decades? You think love fixes this? Ruth shook her head. No, child. Not love. Just truth. Bella backed away. I don't even know you. Maya stepped forward. You know me. And I love you. That doesn't change. Bella's hands trembled as she lifted the pendant. I used to call this thing my curse. Ethan's voice cracked. It's our connection. Bella stared at him, at his tear-streaked face, at the resemblance she'd never noticed before, and something shifted. Lily began to cry in the next room. Bella went to pick her up, pressing the baby against her chest. I don't know how to feel, she whispered. Ethan took a small step closer. Start with what's real. You're not alone anymore. For a long moment, Bella just cried, silent tears falling onto Lily's blanket. Then she whispered, tell me everything. Ruth told her about the young mother, the empty forms, the decision she and David made in grief and desperation. We thought we were saving a life, Ruth said. We were only saving ourselves. Bella listened, arms wrapped around Lily. I used to think I wasn't good enough to be kept, she said quietly. Now I realize I was just unlucky to be born into other people's choices. David's voice was low. You deserved better. Bella looked at Maya. You knew before this? I overheard, Maya admitted. But I needed proof. Bella nodded slowly. At least you didn't lie. Ethan leaned forward. Let us help now. Please. Let us be your family. Bella's eyes filled again. I've been alone so long I don't know how to share space anymore. Ruth's hand shook as she reached across the table. Then we'll start small. A meal. A visit. No pressure. Bella hesitated, then nodded. One visit. Weeks passed. The Millers kept their promise. Ruth visited with casseroles and soft blankets for Lily. David drove Bella to appointments. Ethan checked in daily. You feeling stronger? A little, Bella said, smiling faintly. One afternoon she whispered to Maya, it still feels strange, being cared for. Maya squeezed her hand. Let it happen. Bella moved slowly into the rhythm of their kindness. By late autumn she accepted Ruth's offer to stay in their guest room. Temporarily, Bella insisted. Just until I'm stable. Ruth nodded, hiding her joy. They painted the walls pale yellow, set up Lily's crib, and hung a small wooden sign that read Welcome Home. When Bella stepped inside she froze. This can't be for me, she whispered. Ethan smiled. It's for both of you. Bella bent down, touching Lily's cheek. We're home, she murmured almost to herself. Life found a new rhythm. Bella helped Maya at the school, reading to children in the afternoons. You're good at this, Maya told her. Bella laughed softly. Guess I learned from watching you. Ethan and David built a swing in the yard for Lily. Ruth filled the kitchen with the smell of cinnamon rolls every weekend. The house rang with laughter and small footsteps. One evening Bella sat on the porch with Ruth, the desert wind soft around them. Do you still hate me? Ruth asked quietly. Bella looked down at the rose pendant. I did. For years. But now. I think I'm learning to forgive. Ruth nodded, tears glinting in the porch light. Forgiveness doesn't erase pain. No, Bella said, smiling faintly. It just lets me breathe again. Ethan struggled in his own way. Late at night he told Maya, I don't know how to be both husband and brother in this story. She took his hand. You're not her brother in that sense. You're her family. That's all. He exhaled slowly. I just want her to have what we have, peace. Maya smiled. She will. We'll make sure of it. Over time the awkwardness softened. Ethan and Bella shared quiet talks about their childhoods. Different walls, same loneliness. Funny, Bella said once. We both waited for someone who never came. Ethan nodded. And now we're both found. As Christmas neared, the house glowed with lights and the smell of pine. Ruth hung stockings for everyone. Ethan, Maya, Bella, and little Lily. We're out of hooks, David said, laughing. A good problem, Ruth replied. On Christmas Eve the table overflowed with food. To second chances, David said, lifting his glass. Bella blinked back tears. And to truth, she added softly. Maya squeezed her hand. And to family. Ruth leaned over to wipe a crumb from Lily's chin. You know, she said, I prayed for a miracle my whole life. I just didn't know it would arrive this late. The room filled with quiet laughter. Even the wind outside seemed to hush. Later that night, as gifts were unwrapped and stories traded, Maya touched Ethan's arm. I have something to tell you. He turned, eyebrows raised. She smiled through tears. We're having a baby. Ethan's mouth fell open. You're really? Maya nodded. Ruth gasped, then hugged her tight. Another blessing. Bella stood, tears shining in her eyes. That baby will never know what loneliness feels like, she said. Ethan kissed Maya's forehead. Not if we can help it. Lily toddled over, tugging at Maya's dress. Baby, she giggled. Maya laughed. Yes, sweetheart. A baby. The family gathered around the tree, laughter mixing with the scent of pine and cinnamon. When the lights dimmed and the fire crackled low, Bella sat holding Lily on her lap. She watched Ethan and Maya whisper by the tree, Ruth humming softly, David closing his eyes in peace. The night was warm with something she'd never felt before, belonging. You okay? Maya asked quietly. Bella nodded. For the first time I think I am. She looked at the rose pendant glimmering in the firelight. Funny, she said, smiling. I used to call this a curse. Maya squeezed her hand. It brought you home. Bella whispered. Then maybe it was never a curse after all. Outside, the desert wind sighed through the trees. Inside, love filled the spaces where loss once lived. And for Maya, Ethan, Bella, and little Lily, the family built from truth, pain, and grace, Christmas marked not an ending, but the beginning of everything they had ever hoped for. Moral lesson: family isn't just blood or the people who stay. It's the courage to forgive, to tell the truth, and to choose love even after heartbreak. Thanks you for watching, and please remember to tell us where you are watching from today. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more of this.